Welcome to Motivation Monday, a gentle reset for your week and a space to set an intention that can carry you forward. Each Monday, I'll be sharing simple mental health tools, practical life hacks, and meaningful inspiration you can actually use in your everyday life. I also weave in real-life stories to help you see how these ideas can show up in ways that feel doable and supportive. You'll hear personal reflections from my own life, insights from my mental health private practice, and wisdom drawn from my Reiki and sound healing work. Some Mondays may include an oracle or tarot card pull, while other weeks I might read a passage from a book I love and share why it resonates or how you can apply it to your own journey. And sometimes I'm just going to share my thoughts and what's been motivating me. My hope is that Motivation Monday becomes a grounding and uplifting part of your I Am Circle experience. If there's a topic you'd love for me to explore, please share it in the community chat or send me a direct message. I truly want this membership to feel interactive and be a space where we can support one another, exchange ideas, and grow together on our journey. With that, let's get to our episode for today. Hello, everyone. Before we dive into today's Motivation Monday, I wanted to take a moment to share an important announcement about our Patreon page, and I'm so excited about it. So over the past few months, I wanted to find a way to stay connected with you all since closing my physical studio. With my new business brand, I found Patreon as a great space where I would be able to continue to share some content, explore what works, and begin to build the I Am Circle membership. Now, as many of you know, and maybe some of you who are new to who I am and the Patreon page, I recently closed my physical wellness studio back in July of 2025 after, I think it was 22 years of having it open. And since I have closed it, I've been asking myself, what do I really want to create now? And I really love creating, I really love teaching, and I do miss the physical studio space, but as I've had some time away, I feel like the answer is starting to become pretty clear. And what I figured out is I don't want to just share content or have a library of resources for people to access, which is kind of how I've been using Patreon. Just because I've been new to it, I wasn't really sure or understanding how it works. But now that I've been on it for a while and I am a patron for some other people that I follow and have paid memberships for, I'm seeing how they're building their pages, seeing how they're building their community, and I've realized I kind of got it all wrong. So I'm ready to change that because I really want our community experience to be a way that is easy for all of us to be a part of. So with the virtual experience here and having the Patreon page, what I love is that none of us have to drive anywhere. We can connect with one another in the comfort of our own homes, in our comfy clothes. And if you can't make it to one of the things that I'm hosting on Patreon, you don't miss out like you would if you couldn't show up to the studio. Because everything I do now is going to be recorded. It'll be archived on the Patreon page for you to come back to at your convenience. So this past weekend, my husband and I were in the studio pulling up the floor and moving the last bit of all of my things out. And I finally have all of my sound healing instruments, the decorations from the studio, the things that I had on the altar there. And now I'm able to have it all in my space so I can recreate that feeling of Hannah's Healing Wellness Studio in my home, in my office here. So now that I have everything at my house, I'm going to be taking the next few months to just organize all of my instruments, my decorations, just kind of really getting this space to a place that just really helps support me to create. And I'm going to recreate the I Am Circle membership here on Patreon into something much better and more aligned with what we all felt at Hannah's Healing Wellness Studio. So I want you to think of the I Am Circle membership as like a virtual wellness studio. It's going to be a place where you're not just listening, but you get to participate, you get to receive, and you get to connect. And I'm really hoping with being on this virtual platform that we're going to be able to build our community, that it can become larger, that we get to meet new people, not just from our local community here in New York, in Saratoga and Fulton County, but from around the world. And I love that. That is just so exciting to me to think that I could expand my reach and meet more people and bring you guys more friends and community. And what I've always loved most about my in-person studio was the energy that you all brought to each class. The consistency of your attendance and your consistency is how our community was building and growing. And you guys look forward to seeing each other and made friendships outside of the wellness studio. So now I get to recreate that in a way that's even more accessible for all of us. So with this shift, I do want to let you know that the free membership tier will be phasing out over the next few months as I rebuild this into a more intentional, immersive experience. So I'm still planning on keeping it at $8.99 a month, but there will not be any free offerings. And the Motivation Monday, I will probably get to about 20 episodes, maybe about 5 more before I make this switch. So I'll always keep the first 20 open, accessible, and free. They will also be able to be accessed over on my YouTube account. But from here on out, the I Am Circle membership is like this virtual wellness studio. You've got to pay to get in, and that is your energetic offering to receive all that I'm going to be giving you. So inside the I Am Circle membership here on Patreon, you're going to begin to see monthly themed healing experiences. We're going to have live distance Reiki from me to you and sound healing sessions. I'm also going to offer you weekly guided mental health practices, and I'm going to also include discounts for the Patreon members to any in-person events that I do put on or hold, because I do plan on probably renting some space at different event venues to do maybe two live person events a year, maybe 4. We'll see quarterly, but just 2 for now. And the other thing that I learned too is that Patreon will soon be offering ticketed events. So I used to use Eventbrite, but now I think I'm going to be able to do everything in Patreon. So I'll be able to sell tickets there. And as a member of the I Am Circle, you are going to get discounts to anything that I offer out to the public. So Patreon members get first dibs. You get the cheapest price. Like, I'm going to be holding a virtual book club in the fall, like I always do. So you guys are going to get the discounted ticket. Anybody in the public that hears about it, sees it on other platforms, they're going to come in, they'll have access to the I Am Circle membership during that event. And then if they want to stay, they stay, but they'll have to pay a higher price for that. So always looking to give you guys a benefit and a greater deal here. And the other thing that I love about Patreon too is usually when I would see you guys, when I would run my physical wellness studio, I'd see you like once a week and maybe connect with you a little bit through Facebook. But here with Patreon in the I Am Circle membership, we'll be able to stay connected on a daily basis. And we have the opportunity to build our community in our community chats, which I'm hoping I'll be able to show you guys how we can use that better, because we just haven't been utilizing the community chat here. So I think once I have my system down and you guys begin to see how this is going to roll out and how each month will carry a different theme, and that theme will carry into the distance Reiki healing sessions, the sound healing sessions, and any of the mental health practices that I give you this week, you're going to begin to realize that our membership is going to feel more like a true ongoing experience for your mental health, wellness, and spiritual development. It's not just going to be a place where you can, pull resources from. So this is something that I've really been wanting to build for a long time. I have tried so many different ways to try to do it, and the Patreon page really feels aligned with this next chapter of my business and with the I Am movement that I'm trying to create. date. So if you've been listening, following along, or feeling connected to the work, and you've been staying here with me, whether it's on the free membership or as a paid membership, first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been so fun to see this membership grow pretty quickly. Even though we're at about 50 members, I know that once I give you a better experience where you're really going to feel like you're using it on a daily basis, and we get to connect live, and you get these live sessions, that anyone that is in the free membership is going to want to join us in the paid membership, because there's just going to be a lot there. And what is already in the paid membership will stay. I'm probably going to move those into different collections called hubs. So I'll have a grief hub, a Reiki hub, a sound healing hub, but our monthly practices, that will be a new collection in a folder that you'll see. So with all of that being said, let's get on and move into today's episode. So I want to tell you all about a new type of therapy that I was trained in about, I think it's been 2 years now, actually. Wow, that time has flown by. But it is a type of therapy that has completely changed the way that I work with my clients, and honestly, how I think about healing overall now. Because for a long time, I feel like many of us, including me, we have been taught something about therapy. It's something that you should do every single week, or, bi-weekly, and you really should be working on yourself for years. Usually traditional clinical talk therapy is all about talking about your past over and over again, talking about all the things that are bothering you. And to be honest, sometimes having to rehash and talk about these painful experiences that you've gone through really is, I feel like, counterintuitive. It makes you relive these painful experiences in order to quote unquote move through them. And while, yes, that can be helpful, and that's the way that I was doing therapy for a very long time, I have learned, and I want you to know, that it is not the only way. And I'd like you to begin to open up your mind. Maybe you've never been to therapy before. Maybe you are in therapy before. And I want you to think about that therapy can evolve, and it should be evolving. And if you're with a therapist and they're not using any type of like neuropsychology or neurobiology, then I kind of feel like they're stuck in the old ages. So I learned about this new approach called accelerated resolution therapy, and it's also known as ART, or ART. So I don't love that acronym, because if people don't catch that it's accelerated resolution therapy, people might mistake that this is a type of therapy that includes drawing or painting, and it doesn't. So you're going to hear me abbreviate it as ART, or ART therapy. And I really wanted to introduce you to it today, because I have personally seen how powerful and how fast this work can be. They told us this in the training, and I was thinking, well, is this really possible? And my gosh, it is. So let me tell you first what it is. And I will also put the website for accelerated resolution therapy in the show notes. So you can click on that, you can browse the website. So accelerated resolution therapy, it's an evidence-based form of psychotherapy that helps people process and resolve distressing memories, trauma, anxiety, and other emotional challenges, often in a much shorter amount of time than traditional therapy. In fact, many of my clients experience significant relief in just 1 to 5 sessions. And here's what makes the difference compared to talk therapy. You actually don't have to talk through every detail of your trauma. Instead, ART works with how your brain stores those memories. So ART, also known as ART, uses a combination of guided imagery, eye movement, so when you're moving your eyes back and forth left to right, and something called rescripting. And what that means is, instead of reliving a painful memory over and over again, you actually can change how that memory is stored in your brain. And I feel like a good way to describe it is that we're beginning to move those traumatic memories into long-term memory, rather than when you think about something and you become activated in the moment, it's really activating that fight or flight response, which means that that memory hasn't really been stored and placed in the right part of the brain filing cabinet. So, in this type of therapy, you replace distressing images with ones that feel safe, neutral, or even empowering. And because of the way the brain processes memory, the emotional charge of those memories begin to fade. So you can remember what happened, but it no longer feels the same. And what we say in ART is keep the knowledge, lose the pain. And that's where the big shift is. So, why does it work so quickly? Well, one of the reasons why ART can work faster than traditional therapy is because it engages both the mind and the body. So, EMDR is great, but it misses out on a somatic part of it, which ART includes. It includes somatic therapy, which I love. The eye movements that we use in ART help to reduce the intensity of emotional memories, and the eye movements support the brain in processing them more efficiently. So instead of spending months or years analyzing the problem, you're actually helping your nervous system to release it. So art has also been shown to help with, and if you go on the website, you're going to see the list of basically everything. Trauma and PTSD usually are number one, anxiety, depression, fears and phobias, grief, day-to-day stressors and problems with your coworkers, with your boss, with your husband, with your wife. And one of the things that I love the most about it is that it's a very gentle therapy, not only for you, but also for me. Because, in 26 years of doing therapy, I have held and heard a lot of painful stories. So, the great thing about ART is that you can come to therapy, know what you want to work on, but you don't have to tell the whole story. You know it, you've thought about it, you revisit these memories in your brain often, and you have to think about it. You just have to bring them to mind. You actually don't have to speak it. And this is more of a right brain therapy. So actually what I tell my clients is I don't want you to give me a ton of details. You know the story, but I don't want you to say too much out loud because I don't want you to jump into the left brain. So, my experience with ART, I think I have done well over now about 100 sessions using this method. And I'm also trained in the highest level that you can go, which is advanced ART. And this week, I'm actually really excited. I'm going to be assisting and teaching this work in Middletown, New York, to a program called Access. I don't think I'm getting their full title correct, but basically, it's an outpatient mental health facility where we're going to be training the therapists on how to do this. And I love that. And the one thing that I know for certain with the amount of sessions that I've done them personally on myself, it works. I have watched clients come in feeling stuck, overwhelmed, traumatized by events that happened 10, 20, 30 years ago, and just carrying things that they've held on to for years. And within just a handful of sessions, they feel lighter, clearer, more like themselves again. They're not having traumatic flashbacks, and they feel much more present in their day to day life. And then they're able to come to their present life and handle that and deal with that better. So, and they come to this not because we've talked about it endlessly, but because we have used the evidence based protocol and procedures that have been developed using this therapy. It has been studied. There's been, you can see a ton of research articles on this and how well it's working in all different types of human beings. So I'd like you to know that now, in our field of psychology, there are new and improved ways that people can heal, and it doesn't have to take years. And I feel like maybe it's time to update the story that we've been told about how we need to heal ourselves or what therapy is all about. And it doesn't have to take years. Like, what if you don't have to keep revisiting the same pain? You don't with this therapy. And why do we feel like we can't, move through things quick, that it's got to be hard, that we must suffer long? So, this is the type of therapy that is fast and it just allows you to process things that you have been through and are currently going through in a different, more efficient way. So, with every episode that we do here, with our Motivation Monday, I love to bring it back to the I am. So, how do we bring it back to I am? Because healing is also an identity shift, right? So, anything that comes after I am, we want to be positive. It will shift our identity. So, some of the I am affirmations that I thought of for this show is, and you can repeat after me, write them down, put them in your journal on each one and see, what comes. But how does it feel to say, I am ready to release what no longer serves me? I am allowed to heal with ease. I am not stuck in my past, and I am open to new ways of healing myself quicker. I am becoming free. So, if something in this episode resonated with you, if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been doing the work but not seeing the shift, this might be a new intervention to explore either with me. I will probably have some openings in the fall, or you can go on to the Accelerated Resolution Therapy website and find an ART trained therapist right here in New York. And if you are a therapist listening, you can get trained in this, and I would say you are missing out if you don't. I highly feel like every therapist should be trained in this. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you are equally excited about the new changes that are going to come to our Patreon page. And again, for those of you who are free members, take advantage of what you see here in the free, but I will send out another message to let you know when that free membership will be closing down. Hopefully you will all join us and convert over to a paid membership. All right, everyone, I hope that this is an episode that you can just do a little more research on, read a little bit more about accelerated resolution therapy. If you have any questions, put them in our community chat. I am here for you, available to answer any and all questions that you might have. And I just want to remind you guys that it is important for you to continue shining. So shine on, everyone. The world needs your beautiful light. Thanks for listening. If today's message resonated with you and you're wanting to go deeper into this work, I invite you to join us inside the I Am Circle on Patreon. It's a beautiful, supportive space where we can continue these conversations, practice powerful I Am teachings, and gather as a community committed to growth, healing, and spirituality. Inside the membership, you'll receive bonus content, exclusive reflections, recorded meditations, and deeper teachings to help you embody the work we talk about here each week. You can also visit my website to explore upcoming classes, events, coaching, and retreats that I provide. I would love to support you on your journey. Everything you need is linked in the show notes, and remember, the most powerful words you will ever speak are the two words I am and the words that come after that. I'll see you inside the circle or next Monday.